All right, hey AP Chemistry, this is help for question number 2 on your self-assessment in chapter 2. So, I didn't do a great job talking about and explaining this in a previous help session, so I'm going to make a quick video on it. So it says, a compound containing only carbon and hydrogen has a carbon to hydrogen mass ratio of 11.9. Which carbon to hydrogen mass ratio is possible for another compound composed of only carbon and hydrogen atoms? Before we answer this question, I want to remind you of something. Some chapter 2 notes to remind you about the law of multiple proportions. And I want us to think about water. Okay, so in H2O, I'm going to tell you right now that 2 grams of hydrogen combines with 16 grams of oxygen, and we get 18 grams of H2O. For something like hydrogen peroxide, we get 2 grams of hydrogen combining with 32 grams of oxygen, and we get 34 grams of H2O2, okay? Comparing both of these ratios, I have a 16 to 2 ratio, 16 grams of oxygen to 2 grams of hydrogen in H2O, compared to 32 grams of oxygen to 2 grams of hydrogen in H2O2. If we compare these ratios, this is 8 over 1, this is 16 over 1. This is 2 times the amount of oxygen. This is a whole number. Basically, if I combined, or if I divided 32 over 2 by 16 over 2, I get the whole number of 2. You need a whole number ratio between compounds. This is what the law of multiple proportions says, that these elements will combine in whole number ratio proportions. So I already have one ratio between carbon and hydrogen. That's like 11.89 grams of carbon to 1 gram of hydrogen. So I need to figure out which of these ratios would give me a whole number to 11.89 when divided, right? So if I divide compound 1 and I divide it by compound 2, do I get, and I need to get, a whole number? Just like I did here, if I did 32 over 2, which is 16, and I divided by 16 over 2, which is 8, I get the whole number 2. If this was not a whole number, this would not fall within the law of multiple proportions, and it wouldn't have conservation of matter. So for this question, I need to find which of these two numbers, when divided by each other, gives me a whole number. So if I do 11.89 divided by 2.5, 11.89 divided by 2.5, I get 4.756. That is not a whole number, so it can't be A. If I do B, if I do 11.89 divided by 3.97, I get 2.99, which is approximately 3. That 9 will round to 3. We'll keep that as a contender. If I do 11.89 divided by 4.66, I get 2.55. That is not anywhere near a whole number. Can't be C. And if I divide 11.89 divided by 7.89, I get 1.5. Again, not a whole number. So the only possible correct answer would be choice B. When I divide compound 1 ratio by compound 2 ratio, I should get a whole number. That goes along with the law of multiple proportions. So that is how you were supposed to answer something like question number 2. Which of these numbers, when divided with the ratio, gives you a whole number? If you would have had this upside down, you would have had fractions, and so that's why you had to put big number over small number. Does it give me a whole number? All right, so this is supposed to help you with question number 2. Sorry if that got cut off. I'm going to end the video here, and in my next video, I'll talk about question number 4.